Hello, how are you?
Yeah, great. Happy to be here. Yeah.
Would you say is the best thing about London Film Festival?
Well, I've been coming here for many years. I love walking into any one of these films and not knowing anything, and walking out, like transported to another world, still thinking about a film many days later. So, I mean, I'm a film lover. I love all film festivals, but particularly LFF. Yeah.
So this film, Last Swim, what drew you to this story and why did you want to make the story alive?
So I'm born and raised in London, and growing up here in the 90s and noughties, it became apparent that all of the coming-of-age stories seemed to be American. There were no British coming-of-age stories, at least none that represented my experience of growing up here. So I always wanted my first film to be that, and then it became about also tapping into the energy of London on a hot summer's day, because I do think the city completely changes, and we change the way that we behave. So I wanted to explore that. Yeah.
So when it comes to aspiring directors, what advice would you give them?
Oh wow. Okay. Well, to stay on course. And to find a way to keep moving forwards, and to learn to be patient. And I think you can put all your energy into working on your material, and make it as good as it can possibly be, so that every knockback you use as an opportunity to make the material better until it's impossible for them to say no. Yeah.
So obviously you filmed around London a lot. Where was your favourite place to film in London, and where was your least favourite place to film in London?
So we had a lot of locations on this film, and some of the locations, because of the size of our film, we're an independent British feature, we couldn't own the locations. So we have a scene on Haymarket, which visually was a great place to shoot, but practically was really challenging. We were surrounded by crowds and tourists, and it was really noisy. So that was a more challenging day. A favourite place to shoot is probably the day that we did the lake swimming scene, which in the script is actually set in Hampstead Heath. We didn't actually film in Hampstead Heath. We filmed in Beckenham Palace Park, which resembles Hampstead Heath. And that was just a really idyllic environment to film. Yeah, I really enjoyed that day. Yeah.
So when it comes to, obviously, this story, was there parts of your life you put into this story?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So I'm half Iranian, and the character in the film, Zeba, is a British-Iranian young woman who is inspired by a lot of female cousins that I have. So yeah, I wanted to draw my experience and explore this sense of duality, how you're one thing at home, she speaks Farsi and she listens to Iranian music and eats Persian food, but then when she's out with her friends, she speaks English, she's using lots of London slang, and about how we change the way that we behave depending on what environment we're in, which I think is a very London thing. Yeah.
I completely agree with that. I'm exactly the same. I'm different people in different situations. What would you like audience to take away from this film?
So for young people, I hope they see themselves in the film, and for anyone older, anyone my age, that it makes them feel a little nostalgic for those days when they were leaving school and going out into the unknown, and this sense of change. And I hope that it taps into this feeling of lost youth. We were writing the film during the pandemic. It's not at all a pandemic film, but this idea that if you had one day to spend with your friends, what the choices you would make, where would you go, what would you do? Those are the questions I wanted to ask. Yeah.
And then lastly, what can we expect from you in the future?
So this was my debut film, and I've really enjoyed making it, and we're trying to keep the team together for my sophomore film, which is like the anti-companion piece to this. So this film is very much about femininity and the beauty of youth. The next one's about toxic masculinity, so it's the other side of the coin. Yeah.
Oh, amazing, mate. It's so lovely meeting you, and enjoy the rest of Film Fest.
Thanks very much. Thank you. You too. Cheers, mate.